That's all I was describing. But you're talking about some other game, like there's something else that motivates most people. I don't think there is, all right? I mean, you can make your argument that most people are just wandering around saying, I don't really want something, I want something else. I want to, play with the stars or something, or whatever the fuck you think they want, that they somehow don't want. That isn't some sort of primitive or crude desire they want to satisfy, some ego desire. Most people aren't driven by their egos and satisfying their sense of self-esteem and importance and attaining and getting and having. And all of that is arbitrary. That's what I've been arguing. It's all fucking arbitrary. And if we just change the psychology, we can make people into anything, and we can make them say, I don't want a goddamn thing. I need a ticket out.
You want to win it. Okay, you want everybody else to have the opportunity to win as well. But many of us aren't interested in winning that kind of a game. Really, you know what I mean? And quite honestly, there are ways to win the game. You don't need to go into virtual reality to win it.
Well, that's just silly, okay? There's there are ways to win in the context of what? Like I said, I mean, for every one professional basketball player, there's 10,000 broken spirits. For every one hero, there's 100,000 failures. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I'm just saying that we all deserve it. I'd say there would be enough. You peed and you actually hit the toilet. Okay, yeah, you deserve Christina for that. Good move. I mean, what's the point of having these arbitrary standards of accomplishment? I mean, if Tiger Woods was run over by a bus when he's 17, then a whole different bunch of guys think they're the greatest golfer in the world, and the number 11 guy is now the number 10 guy, and he feels all better about himself, and the number 101 guy is now 100, and so he thinks he's really much better than he is, and I mean, everybody's all happier because, and what the fuck are you talking about? It's a stupid competition. That's the concession. I'm not saying it's anything else but fucking stupid. But I'm just saying, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it in a perfect environment where there's more winners than losers.
You just need to be in the world. Now, okay, I accept the fact it isn't a level playing field. I know that. But people are out there in the world sleeping with Lois Lane lookalikes and being caught.
Oh, yeah, it ain't working that way, okay? Because most of those people, they get what they want and then they want more, okay? And then they want more, and then they want more, and then they want more, and that's part of the other hook to this fucking evil fucking game. Even if you get, then you want more. Well, in virtual reality, you can keep giving more. Okay, you can keep feeding higher and higher expectations. There's no limit to how much you can feed.
Facts and being success stories. People are doing that game. And the fact that
Well, you could name a few. That would be interesting to hear the names of these people that are living the charmed life.
You or I or Ted Kaczynski or anybody else are not doing those things. Isn't that I don't know, just buying into VR so that because you or I or anybody else feels a failure and we want to.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, I define myself as a failure just because I've not maximized my intelligence and done the best I could with it and changed or done anything of accomplishment. But in my personal life, I've done what I need to do to feel good about me. I don't want to be any of you, so that's got to be pretty good, right? I mean, if I don't want to live any of your lives, or I have no desire to go back in time and trade places with somebody else and be them and have their personality and their psychology and their way of living and their mannerisms and their whatever. I don't have any desire to switch places with somebody, so I'm obviously not a failure in that sense.
Succeed, and the only way we can succeed is by and gaining the material wealth and the pleasures of the flesh. The only way we can do that is by cheating and doing it in virtual reality.
Even the way you'd come up with a word like cheating, again, what's the cheat made out of? Oh, so by the standards of the pool you're competing with, you're not as good as you thought you were. So, golfers in the old days, right? I mean, they weren't really competing against real athletes, so they were all cheating, right? There was the fake reward, because they never had to face Michael Jordan or some other. Is that what we're going to play? That kind of fucking game? It's all arbitrary bullshit. There is no fucking cheating because there's no point in in defining the superlative or the best. The best doesn't mean anything. It's just bullshit. It's rubbish. It's nonsense. It's all fucking. It's built out of a fucking. That's the old maze game, all right. But that's the only game in town, Fred.
And not any old virtual reality. Not really playing against decent competitors, but virtual reality with it turned down to novice mode. Tony Hawk with moon gravity.
Right, and that's exactly how you're going to be playing the game. You're going to be playing the game, and it's going to be screaming at you, novice mode, novice mode, novice mode. No, you're going to be playing the game, and you're not going to have any idea you're in novice mode. You're not going to have any concept of any such fucking thing. So what the fuck's the point? What's the difference? Yeah, well, why not play the game so you win more? Yeah, that's great. You want to raise it, and that's the other joke here. I mean, if you want to play a tougher version of virtual reality where you don't get to win as often, you don't get Christina every day, you don't get the yacht every day, you don't get to play golf at Pebble Beach every fucking day, yeah, go ahead. Crank it up so you have to play in the dump one day, and your wife divorces you, or whatever other kind of crap you want to throw into your virtual reality. You go ahead and throw it in there. You can make your virtual reality as mundane and as shitty as you want to. There's nothing that would stop that from taking place. You want to make a crappy virtual reality? Go the fuck ahead. I'm going to make one where I win. Yeah, because I like winning. Winning is fun.
Anybody can do tricks in there. It sounds like hell. To me, I'm sorry, it sounds like hell.
Because what game are you playing then, Fred? What game are you going to play where the tricks are going to matter? Where it's really going to matter whether you did 3.5 twists in a half turn, or you only did 2.5 and only a quarter turn. What game are you going to play that it matters who wins, or it matters that they did win, that winning actually means something? What, are you going to play a game where you're playing, chess with Einstein? Well, that wouldn't matter either, right? Because it's only stupid chess. I mean, what fucking game are you going to play in virtual reality that could possibly make a fucking difference whether or not you cheat or not? I mean, name me the game. Realistically, if we have virtual reality, we've solved all the disease problems, because we don't even know if we had cancer, we wouldn't even know it, and we'd just be slid out of the system without even knowing it. We were slid out. So there's no problems to solve anymore in virtual reality. You're in virtual reality. There's nothing for you to fix anymore. So there's no point in having a competition to cure AIDS or something. I mean, so what competition exactly would you be in virtual reality? What game would you play in virtual reality that would make a goddamn bit of difference? Whether you cheated or not. Whether you flirted, or whether you, were wearing a mask where you're 21 years old again. Oh my God, I'm faking. I'm not being my real old wrinkled self. I mean, sure. I'm sorry. I can't even possibly relate to what the fuck you're talking about. It completely flies all past anything I can recognize as meaningful.
And it sounds like a tiny, tiny, tiny imagination. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, well, I could do this. I'll just turn that right around, rubber your glue, and throw it right back at you. To sit there and say that you can have a starting point of virtual reality that so duplicates your current life that you couldn't tell the difference, right? You wouldn't know. It's just a duplication of your current life. And now the only difference is you pull a full few weeds, and then you pull a full few more, and you change a couple of things, and you change a couple other things, and you just tweak it. You just tweak it, and you're going to tell me that's where the imagination comes in. So then you could tweak it to be whatever game it is you think's worth playing. All right? But you're not describing what that game is to me. I float around in cyberspace, and my thought thingies just bounce around with other thought thingies and do what? Sorry, I don't get any of it. All right? I get love, passion, I get emotions. That makes sense to me, but this doesn't. I don't know how to do anything about what you're talking about. I don't know how that's going to get me off, so to speak. And so, sorry, yeah, I don't get it.
Anyway, nice talking to you, Gary.
Yeah, well, it's always nice, except when it's not. Yeah. So video number 2. Yeah, I'm sorry, but might as well go for it, right? He's gonna dump on VR here, so I figure we've got to do this too. See how many minutes we're into this thing. I don't know if I can do that. Oh, YouTube's working good again. Thank you, YouTube.
I just want to reinforce something I said in this recent video I did to Gary, particularly this bit about VR and technology. See, I'm really, really not interested in using, either literally using technology or just using the ideas that technology suggests. I'm not interested in using that just so that we can provide the illusion of winning human games. You know what I mean? I mean, the problem that...
No, see, that's where I don't know what you mean. I just don't know what you mean. What is there besides human games? What's the fucking point of the consciousness thing, the feeling thing, if I'm not going to wallow or spend a whole bunch of time in the really good feeling stuff and avoid the bad feeling stuff? If that's not my ambition as an individual, if that's not what I think is sensible for the individual, then what the fuck? I'm sorry, I don't get it. What else am I supposed to be wanting to do? Quadriacal triangles or something? What the fuck am I supposed to? What's the singularity thingy here?
Gary's talked about, I've talked about, other people talk about. Our problems inherent in, what it is to be an embodied consciousness, what it is to have thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of years of history.
Well, who the fuck cares about the history, all right? I mean, it's good to know as a fact, but I can't feel the history. It doesn't do much for me. I don't really give a damn. But what I do, I can't understand my own psychology, and I understand it's driven by desire, addictions. All right, yeah, no, I'm just still doing the e-cigarette thing, but I cheat a little here, which is not good. I'm still doing it, but whatever. It's a whole other subject. But yeah, so I just like I said, life is stupid because of the inefficiency with which we do the how much pain we pay for the amount of pleasure we get. And you seem to be talking about a world where there is no pain and pleasure. So I don't even understand it. I can't even relate to it. Life is stupid this way. It would be preposterous to have the guts on the wall for nothing, for not even getting to the cheese.
Coming out of a fight, a struggle for survival, wars, interspecies conflict, that whole Malthusian nightmare really is at least one of the contributing factors to where we are today. And before anybody says it, of course I know there's positive.
But that's what it's made out of. I don't get you, okay? Yeah, exactly. That's the whole fucking problem. That's what the fucking thing is made out of. It's made out of a reproducing cell that became a cannibalistic reproducing cell. Right? That's the game. And then we became competitive with each other, so we're cannibalizing each other for our happiness and our comfort. Well, what's so complicated? It's fucking consumption, reproduction, and cannibalism. That's the third word we add. Consumption, reproduction, cannibalism. That's what life is fucking made out of. That's the fucking recipe. There's nothing, whatever you're talking about, you're going to have to define what other ingredient you're putting in here. Because I don't see anything else. Consumption, reproduction, cannibalism. What else can we make out of this shit?
So I know we can talk about those. But one of the problems for me emerges out of that history. That's the original sin that we are trying to expunge, I think. And I don't think that's served at all well, or at least I would not be interested in serving that at all well, simply by transporting us into a VR world where we can live out those fantasies and be successful in the games that we're either failing at or are too distressing to our fellow humans.
Right, so instead of making everybody the winner at the Super Bowl, we should keep the equation alive where one person wins and most people lose. Yeah, sorry, don't get it.
In the real world, you know what I mean? I think because we can already do that. I mean, we have video games, and we have...
Yeah, right. Well, I'll let you finish.
Movies, and they take us out of life. They do escape us from this for a couple of hours,
Exactly, a couple of hours. But what's the rest of my life or your life made out of? Okay, the rest of my life is made out of, you gotta wake up and you gotta have a cup of coffee just to face the fucking day. And then you got chores and obligations and crap you don't want to do, and maybe you get diarrhea and you get some other kind of bullshit and your headaches, or you break your fucking goddamn toe a couple of times in 1 week, or some other kind of crap, all right, that you got to live with every fucking goddamn day. There's this crap.